going to say good morning, but it's 1 o'clock. But to us, it's morning because we hadn't been up that long. I've decided that I'm going to start on my YouTube here. I'm going to start telling stories of things of back when I was little, young, whatever. Because I have some good stories. They're some of them are probably sad, but I'll try not to tell any of them because this is supposed to be a happy channel. And as you can tell, I'm in my happy room. Let's just have a tour. Let's see here. There's the lion. And what's over there? Oh, there's my baby dolls. See the baby dolls? That's my little baby doll named Susie. I got a story about her. And what else? I think that's my avocado plant. Can you believe I'm growing an avocado tree from a seed? Yeah. I'll tell you in just a minute how I did it. But anyway, there's Dorothy again. Okay. And there you go. Let me see. What am I going to tell you first? Oh, it's raining outside. So I love rain, especially if I don't have to get out in it, you know. But when Karen and I were in school, elementary school, we loved cold, rainy days. When we'd get off the school bus, we'd go running down to the house, because our house was back behind our Granny Smith's house. And everybody needs a Granny Smith. Yeah, that's where I got my big boobs from. Thank you, Granny. But anyway, she's also the one, who took Karen and I to church every Sunday, and she carried a big old black purse, and it always smelled like, I don't know, juicy fruit gum or something like that. I can't remember for sure which one. And we always rode to church with the Smiths across the street. We weren't related, but we loved them. And they'd take us to church. Well, back then even, I loved jewelry. Loved jewelry, any kind. Well, you know, Cracker Jack boxes always came with a little toy of some kind. And I would be so excited when I'd open mine up and it would be a ring. Just a little plastic ring. No, back then they were metal and they were adjustable. But anyway, and I'd put them all on every finger, and I'd wear them to church. Well, we'd get in the car, and Granny would say, she'd get out her little hanky, and she'd say, "Come on, Charlie," said, "take those rings off." And so I'd take them off, and she'd put them in her hanky and wrap them up. And then after church, she would hand me the hanky, and I'd put all my rings back on. Well, you know, now if you buy a box of Cracker Jacks, it's a stinking little tattoo or sticker. Those days of getting little toys, you know, are gone. And but anyway, but we'd come in from school on a Friday afternoon, and we'd get so excited because it was Friday afternoon, because my dad would go over to Hot Springs. He called it Hot Town. He'd go over to Hot Town, and he would buy 2 or 3 humongous boxes of day-old, I keep hearing something, of day-old cupcakes and bread, and get it for like hardly nothing. I mean, back then it was like $1, you know, or something. And so he would pick out all the cupcakes that you know, he knew me and Karen and Mama liked, and we'd come in from school, and it'd be raining, and so we'd run from the bus to our house. Our house was back behind Granny Smith's. Everybody needed Granny Smith. And so we'd run home, in, you know, in the rain, and we'd get there, and Mama, the only kind of heat we had was an old wood stove. And so Mama would have that stove going good, and we'd get in there and put our books down and kick our shoes off and stand by that old wood stove and kind of get warm and dried up a little. And then we go in the kitchen and pick out a cupcake. Well, my favorite cupcakes was them snowballs, the one with the little stuff on them. And then my second favorite was the orange ones, orange cakes, cupcake. And Karen, she always went for the pies, those little pies, apple pies, peaches. I didn't like them, so we never fought over the cupcakes and stuff. And then Daddy would the next day he would take all that stuff. He separated out all the short loaves of bread, the long loaves of breads, the buns, the cakes, and all that stuff. And he'd put it in the back of his van, and he'd go down through some of the neighborhoods across the railroad track, and he'd stand out there and he would sell the cupcakes. I think he sold them like 5 for $1, and then he'd sell the loaves of bread and stuff. They'd be like 4 for $1. And so there was one little boy that came up and he wanted a cupcake, but he didn't have any money. And Daddy said, "Here." He said, "You can have one." He said, "Take this one." And Daddy said he was so excited. Well, fast forward to many years later. The first Walmart, that's down in the hill, we had an assistant manager, and I'm going to tell his name. His name was Jesse. And he, one day Daddy had to take me to work for something. I was married and everything, but I can't remember what happened, why he had to take me to work. And Jesse saw me getting out of my dad's car. And we get inside and he says, "Is that your dad?" And I said, "Yeah." "That's George?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let me tell you what he did one time for me when I was a little boy." And he told me that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because it'd been like, 30 years or longer? Anyway, it kind of made me proud of my daddy. But anyway, you just, you never know when you do something like that, how it's going to affect someone. And so that's why I think one of the reasons I've always tried to not be ugly to anybody and try to do something, be nice, because that may be the only nice person that's been nice to them, I never will forget one time Karen, she was a nurse up at the Baptist in Little Rock, and she had nurses burnout. And if you don't know what that is, it's you just, all the sickness and like she said, Shirley, she said, we've got so many people up there, they're young people that's got cancer, and she said, "I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing everything I can to make these people better, and knowing that in my heart that no matter what I do, it's not it's not going to help them." And so anyway, it finally just got to her, and what tipped her over the edge. And yes, she had to go up on 4th floor at the Baptist for about a couple of weeks until she got herself straightened out. But what happened was she called me and said, "Shirley, I went to Walmart and bought a couple of things, and the cashier did not say hello to me, how are you, anything." And so she said so I gave her my stuff. She took my money, handed it back to me, and turned around, and she said it was it. She didn't say thank you or anything. And Karen said, and when I come up, I said hello. She didn't answer. And she said, when I left, or when I walked off, I said thank you. The lady never said anything. And she said, "Oh no, something's wrong with me. What's wrong with me that someone would treat me like this?" She said, what have I done, And it triggered it. It did. So anyway, she finally got better, and I took that experience and shared it in a store meeting one morning to let, because Sam was always like, say hello to people, tell them thank you, and all that stuff. And now 99.9%, if you were to go in our Walmart right now, that's how they treat everybody. But I guess the reason I'm telling this part is that you don't know your actions and your words, how they affect other people. And I know it's hard sometimes. Sometimes you just want to knock the snot out of them. And I get that feeling. I really do. I get that feeling on some people, especially a neighbor down the street. And, but anyways, so, anyways, enough of that stuff. But anyway, this rain just reminded me of, Karen and I coming in from school and getting to eat those cupcakes and stuff, And Mom would have like a big old pot of usually pinto beans on that old wood stove, and they'd cook slow all day long. And then she would fix a pan of cornbread and big old slice of onion, which she'd eat garlic. And I would eat onion. Karen wouldn't dare eat onion because she didn't want to have bad breath. And she loved her garlic. Well, back then our bedrooms was real close to each other. And I never will forget one night I heard Daddy say, I heard Daddy say, "Good Lord, Louise," he said, "you get down to the other end of the bed," said, "that your breath is killing me," because it smelled like garlic. And so she got up and she got to the other end of the bed. But anyway, and I want to do something else just really quick because we're going to have to go. I'm going to show you these baby dolls, or baby doll. There she is. See my baby doll? Her name is Susie. Let me tell you how I got Susie. That doll's old. I was about 6 when I got it. And I'm now, so yeah, it's over 60 years old. But anyway, my dad used to go back behind in the alleys behind the dime stores and Ben Franklin and stuff like that y'all never heard of. And he'd go through their dumpster thing, and he'd get boxes, and if there was something good in there, he'd grab that. One time, he came home with a humongous box of candy. Like when you go into the candy stores and you see like big old trays of like pieces of chocolate and fudge and everything. And he come in with that. I don't know why they threw that away. But, if it's got, I don't know. Anyway, so he got that and brought it home. And we thought we had struck gold. Hang on. What?
Yeah, no, look.
In a minute. And so anyway, I'd get mad at him, but he's so darn cute. So one day, it was Christmas time, he found 2 dolls in the dumpster. No clothes, nothing, just 2 dolls. And I got one, and Karen got one, but at the time we didn't know it. We just knew that Mama was sewing little clothes for, a little doll or something. We didn't, I noticed it, but I didn't think nothing about it. Well, when it come Christmas morning, there was those dolls with their new little dresses on, and Mama had put a little bow in their hair, and we were just so excited because, they were new, And anyway, I named mine Susie. I can't remember what Karen named hers, but anyway. And then Mom made more clothes for them, and stuff. And we were so in love with that doll. It was just wonderful. And Karen and I we'd get our baby dolls, and Mom would make us like maybe a peanut butter sandwich, and sometimes it was on biscuits if we didn't have any bread. And then she'd get us a little pint fruit jar, and she'd make iced coffee. That's back before Starbucks. she'd make us a thing of iced coffee, and we'd grab our big old purse, and we'd go out to get in one of Daddy's old cars. One of them was like I don't know. I know this sounds old, but it's like an old 52 black two-door Ford. And it didn't have a front seat in it. And so me and Kay, we'd get us a bucket or something and put in there. And I'd be the one driving. And I'd be just driving, and Karen would say, "We going to California?" I said, "Yep, we're going to California." And we was always going to California because Daddy used to tell us stories about when he lived out there. And anyway, to this day, I still have my Susie doll. I don't know whatever happened to hers. And the kids, the grandkids, they think she's awful and that she's creepy. But to me, she's not. I just love her. And, well, I'm going to tell this part here, and I got to go. We'd never had a brand new baby doll. Well, we got on the bus one day after Christmas, and a friend of ours was on the bus, and she had gotten a new baby doll. And she said, "Do you want to hold it?" And I said, "Sure." So I held it, and it had that new baby doll smell. I'll never forget it. And so I put that baby doll up, and I was just holding, just, you know, not sniffing it, but, you know, breathing in, smelling that new baby doll smell, because I'd never smelled it. And I told this girl years later, I told her, I said, I still remember that new smell of your baby doll. But anyway, well, I got other stuff to tell later, but we got to get ready to go to Hot Springs. We're going over to the boys' school, and I'm going to help Natasha with her little sewing class they do on Thursdays. Her and she's teaching the little kids, not little kids, they're, you know, maybe 13 up to about 15 or something. It's about, I think, 5 or 6 of them, and she's teaching them how to sew. And what they're making is little dresses, and they're just different lengths and stuff. And they have little ties right here. They're real simple, but just cute as can be. And her friend is a missionary, and she goes over to Uganda, I don't know how often, once or twice a year. And she had told Natasha that they needed, those little kids over there, girls need dresses. So anyway, Tasha and those kids, but the boys too, have been making little dresses for, I can't think of the lady's name, I just went blank, to take to Uganda. And I think it's going to be a real blessing for Natasha, and I think it's a very good teaching lesson for those kids. And I'm just so proud of her, so proud of her to do these kind of things. You know, I really am. Well, I have to go now because we've got to get over there, and it takes about 30 minutes to get there. But I don't care if I'm late. She's got them under control. And I guess that's it. And I guess the moral of the story, or as Paul Harvey would say, and that's the rest of the story. But it's not. I got plenty more. And so if y'all want to hear some more, comment below and let me know, because you know me, I'm full of it. I could go out there and talk to a tree and be happy, because I like to talk. Can't believe all those years at Walmart I didn't get in trouble for talking. Oh well. Love y'all. Bye.